I know that human being and fish can coexist peacefully.
Hello and welcome to the Spoilt Milk Movie Podcast. Here at Spoilt Milk, we like to discuss, dissect, and destroy guilty pleasure movies. And then we decide whether the film is truly spoilt milk, or whether it's ascended into a fine, luxurious cheese. So without further ado, let's go.
Warning, this podcast is full of spoilers for the title feature, and there's bad language from the start. If you've never seen the film, or you're offended by bad language, you have been warned.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Spoilt Milk Movie Podcast!
Why are that Stormtrooper's pants the wrong colour?
Yeah.
He had a bad time, he shat himself.
But they look slightly urine-y.
And, I mean, it all mixes together, doesn't it? When your bladder and your bowels go.
Are they glow in the dark?
No.
Has he got glow in the dark panties?
He was by a window, so sunlight hit only his crotch.
Oh, yeah.
And turned it that weird. It's kind of like, the old computers of yesteryear.
Yeah.
They all go a bit
Commodores
that colour.
and
Yeah.
stuff.
They go a bit that colour. Yeah, it's that.
Just on his crotch.
Yeah, well,
Right, okay. So today we're going to be discussing the Greasy Strangler, but before we've got a top three to discuss. So we've gone for top three films with food in the title to celebrate the grease. All the grease in the film, we're going for food in the title. If grease is grease a food?
I mean, lard is.
Please tell me that none of you have just gone for grease.
No.
Right,
I didn't even think about that.
Right,
I was
okay.
trying to think of something akin to greasy as in like disgusting. But yeah, I was only thinking like disgusting style. So I didn't think of which is a
Are
disgusting
there any
film.
oily films? Right.
I mean, Magic Mike's pretty oily.
Yeah, it is.
I was thinking not oil. There Will Be Blood.
Oh yeah,
At
there's
a
lots of
point,
oil.
he's very oily and there's a big oil majigger. But
Majigger. Who wants to go first then? Who wants to
I'll go first.
Right.
I've only got one.
Right, go for it.
Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Oh, do you know what? I've only half seen that film.
what?
Yeah, it was on when I think I was babysitting or something, and I enjoyed it though.
It's great. There's like a weird little monkey.
Yeah, well, can it talk? Or?
Yeah, it's a little monkey sidekick.
Because it's got like a robot, a helmet attachment that makes it talk or something. I can't remember.
It's like the collar thing from the dog from Up.
That's it. Yeah.
Ah, right, okay
The
then.
thing is, that is a film that sets itself up like, from what you see about it, like with title and generally with trailer thing, it's going to be a piece of shit. But it's
Lord
solid.
and Miller, isn't
It was
it?
great.
Is it?
Yeah. So that was their first animated film before Lego, and then they went on to do Lego, and I think they did 21 Jump Street straight after that.
Bloody hell, they are some successful
They
dudes.
are. Yeah. Well, what was the last thing they did? The Spider-Man animated.
Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, Spider-Verse.
Spider-Man.
Excellent. Have you Spider-Man? Have you seen that?
No.
Oh, neither of you. And it's available to download illegally.
It'll be available on DVDs, please. Then.
Yeah, if you buy DVDs.
I buy DVDs.
I still buy DVDs.
I
Yeah.
don't have a DVD player. So why do you like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs?
There's the monkey.
Are the
Wait,
meatballs...
you don't like talking monkeys? We've had this conversation.
I like talking animated monkeys.
This is ridiculous, Katty.
You're ridiculous.
You won't watch a great series of films
No.
because it's got talking monkeys in
Yep.
it. But admittedly a good film, but still.
No.
Oh, that's angered me.
The two real them ones. It's not. This monkey is the sidekick of a scientist boy.
What about Mighty Boosh, like Bollo?
I like Bollo.
So is he still not real enough?
No,
Right. Okay then.
This
So
is bullshit.
I've seen
what
the
about George
Mighty
of the
Boosh.
Jungle?
That freaks me out a little bit.
You've seen Mighty Boosh live, were you going to
Yeah.
say? Oh, was it good?
At the Grand Theatre. And I saw Bollo take his head off.
No, you saw the man under Bollo?
Mhm.
Nice.
Oh, I thought you meant
He's the drummer of the band.
rip
Is he
someone's
the-
head off.
Is he the guy who plays Andy Warhol in that Noel Fielding program?
I don't know. I don't watch the Noel Fielding programme.
Has he got little pissy eyes?
No.
Well, before we move on to someone else's, are there actual meatballs that fall from the sky?
Yep.
And why does it happen? Do you remember?
It's something to do with like...
He's got a device he's trying to solve poverty, like hungry, like hunger and stuff. And he's got a device that he's trying to synthesize food essentially.
And it goes a bit wild.
And I think it points to the sky at some point, and he does manage to solve the hunger issue because now it's raining meatballs.
The second one's pretty good as well.
I didn't even know there was two.
Is
there a decent voice cast? Is Terry Crews in it? I feel like he's the cop.
I think he might be.
Did you hear that he announced White Chicks 2 is going to be made?
Have you seen that Bill and Ted?
Yeah, making number 3.
Yes. It's a post that I've scheduled for Facebook.
Yeah, no, it's already out there.
Oh, I didn't schedule it right then.
Oh, yeah, that'll be good. I mean, it'll be excellent.
I literally watched that trailer about 8 times yesterday.
Really?
Just like...
But Hobo, I don't think that Bogus Journey is better.
What?
No, I think they're even Stevens. I think they're better.
No.
What? But the first one's got like Genghis Khan and Abraham Lincoln and stuff in.
I'm not saying it's not a good
The second
movie,
one's got Grim Reaper, which is
but
ace.
there's a clear better one. Do you not agree, Katty?
No, I think they're both as good as each other.
You don't think one is slightly better than the other?
No, it's Bill and Ted.
No.
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves can do no wrong in my eyes.
Bogus Journey is clearly better for me.
We should poll it.
Clearly.
Like Back to the Future 2.
Yeah, dick. Well, anyway, while you're getting shamed and talking about bad films, do you want to let us know yours?
Yeah,
Your foodie one?
I had a list because I went with ones
list?
that came to my mind. So I've got some backups, but
We'll just go for the one because I don't have many.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know whether to go for a classic or just one from my childhood.
Which one in your heart?
Oh, fuck, I could have gone for Ratatouille.
Ratatouille.
Yeah.
Rats aren't food.
No,
Ratatouille is a type of food, though.
Is it?
Yeah.
But spelled ratatouille.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is like me with the dumbwaiter thing.
I don't know if I've ever had ratatouille. What is a ratatouille then?
It's like a stew.
Yeah, it's like tomatoey
That's why I've never
Yeah,
heard
because you only eat dust.
and a roast with no fucking gravy.
The gravy is always optional. So why should I be shamed for not having the optional gravy? Because that suggests it's not optional.
Yeah, but it's like having KFC. Like the gravy is optional because you might get beans. You've got to have a bit of wet.
Otherwise, you're just eating dry.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with a bit of dry.
I mean, if we went out for food and you put ketchup on your food, I would literally pick my plate up and walk to the next table.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to set up a hidden camera somewhere and just do it, just so I can see it.
I'd be like emotionless as well, just like...
Do you know what? When you said the thing about people who put salt on their dinners, that's really made me think about not putting salt on my dinner now.
Without tasting it first.
Yeah, I think that was a really good observation.
It annoys the living shit out of me.
And now when I go to restaurants, I don't put salt on until I've tasted it.
But do you still put salt
Trust
on
the
it
chef.
afterwards? Have you still put it on every time?
Probably every time, yeah.
So it hasn't really worked.
Yeah. But it's considerate.
Yes, it is.
Someone's work that I'm spoiling.
I'm going to go for Good Burger.
I knew one of you is going to go for fucking Good Burger.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger.
Can't take your order.
Why?
Just from my childhood. I mean, considering it beat out Soylent Green, which
Oh,
is
so got an idea of your age then?
No, because I watched Bill and Ben, like Flower Pot Men, but I wasn't like born.
Yeah, but
when
that's
that
because
came
that's
out.
older. That don't matter. Knowing that you were a child when this was and that's new, that gives me a bracket.
No,
to
I
work
don't know
with.
how old I was when I watched it. I could have watched it at uni. I'm not saying that to throw you off. I honestly don't know. Just
Hobos don't go to uni.
the University of Cardboard Box Building.
Right, okay. So
But
sorry.
yeah, it beat out like the classic, which is Soylent Green, and that's because I probably know, shamefully, Good Burger better than I know Soylent Green, even though I know how much like Soylent Green is.
Never seen Soylent Green.
Soylent Green.
Yeah, you'll know it because it's part of so many things. It's referenced in so many things.
So how is that reference in a food?
Because if you haven't seen it, by telling you, it might spoil it.
Not bothered.
Okay, so Soylent Green is people. It's about a dystopian future where everyone's going hungry, kind of like he's trying to fix in Claudio Chan's Meatball. So we all live on this substance that we're told is like plankton from the sea and stuff like that. And it's Charlton Heston, I believe, investigating the murder of this big CEO of Soylent Green Company.
Is it really people?
And and the big reveal is because people are trying to throw him off the trail of it and stuff like that. The big reveal is, oh my God, Soylent Green is people. But that was like big back in, I want to say 60s, 70s. I can't remember when it came out. But yeah, it's a big like Black Mirror type Twilight Zone cult classic sci-fi thriller.
Okay.
But you're not going for that. You're going for Good Burger.
Yeah.
You're putting aside that 60s sci-fi classic for Good Burger.
Yeah, that's it.
Is there anything like a memorable scene? And don't say the bit at the beginning where he showers with his clothes on.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?
Yeah. Is that like the best bit? So I've still never seen it from start to finish.
What's the burger company that the infiltrate?
I can't remember the name. I remember how big the burgers look when they're putting drops of this stuff to make it automatically like bigger, but I can't remember.
And he does like some sort of weird turn as well. I can't remember what it is.
It's Kenan and Kel.
Yeah.
In a movie. That's all you need.
But they were
and
quite...
he roller skates everywhere.
Yeah.
Does he?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I've never
rollerblades.
seen it.
And he talks like this all the time. Kel.
You know, though, they were quite boundary pushing for their time. I think comedians on kids' TV weren't as wacky, especially black comedians. I felt like the way that they acted was kind of the way that like wacky white comedians would do. And I felt like they were really pushing the boundaries for what was acceptable for a black comedian to do at the time. So good one, Kenan and Kel. Never seen Good Burger, but right.
Live a little.
Well, I had a few, like 3, I think, but I went for Pineapple Express. And do you know what? This happens every time where like we talk about it and it gets to my top 3 and I'm like, just cause. I'm like, I can't really say why. I just love Pineapple Express.
Seth Rogen in it?
Yeah. Seth Rogen and
James Franco.
that's it.
And I think that was the first time that I'd seen James Franco in something where he was being silly. And I was like, oh, and like, I didn't know he had that in his locker. And now when you think about him, he's a fucking idiot. Like, but after he'd been in Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2 or whatever, and I was like, oh, Spider-Man.
Spiderman.
And then he popped up in this. And I just think he's ace. And I love his little like half shut eyes. He said that when he was pretending to be a stoner, he just acted as if the wind was blowing in his eyes at all times. And I was like, yeah, that's a good way of doing it. And I just really like the scene where he's on that oversized swing, just crying while he's eating a good burger. Yeah.
I love it when you find an actor who is like secretly gold at comedy. And what I really want to see is, apparently, is it, I can't remember which one of his friends, but someone keeps saying that he wants Leonardo DiCaprio to do a comedy because in his personal life, apparently he's hilarious.
Oh, really?
I mean, they always play, there's like videos people have filmed where they're playing pranks on each other because they're always doing that. But yeah. And the closest you get to see is Wolf of Wall Street, where he's on the...
Yeah, dancing.
Yeah. Oh, no, I was thinking the Quaaludes, where he's it's something like, put the phone down. Where he's like off his face and he can barely talk. But I think it'd be interesting
he's got it in
the comedy, yeah.
I went to an exhibition in London once where it was James Franco had reenacted every scene from Psycho and had photos and videos taken of them. So you went in and there was like a shower set up and it was projecting him on, but he was dressed as Janet Leigh, like with full drag being like, and it like just looped it again. And it was just the weirdest thing because the weird part like that you get in big cities like London where you like see it online, you're like, oh, there's a James Franco exhibition. And like, oh, it's just down the street. And you're like, this can't be it. It's just like a house. And then you walk in the door and you're like, oh, yeah, it's here. And there was like about 3 other people in this big thing. And I was just like, this is weird. And it was super warm, I remember being like, because they had all these projectors on. I was like, this is James Franco, just in drag. And then loads of weird blood, like, scrawlings on it. Yeah, it was odd.
That's so weird.
Mm.
That's what it must be like when you have that much money.
Yeah, you can just do what you want.
Dress in drag and get people to come round to a very warm house.
Well, the fuck no.
So shall we say that's our top 3? Mama's Pineapple Express, Hobo.
Good Burger, welcome to Good Burger Home. Can I take your order, please?
Home.
I was going to say home of
Take
the
me
good
home.
That is welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?
Yeah, I messed it up.
E.T. phone home. And Katty.
Chowdy.
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 A really small, wide dick. Made of meatballs.
That's a chode.
Yeah, it sounds right.
Cloudy with a chance of meatballs.
Right, and we'll be back shortly to talk about Greasy Strangler.
What are you doing?
Taking your pod.
No, you're not. You will not be taking our pod today, sir.
Hello and welcome to part 1 of this episode of the Spoilt Milk movie podcast, where today we're talking about the Greasy Strangler. Katty, best of luck. What's the film about?
So, it's basically about a man who covers himself in lard and goes out strangling people and then turns into a cannibal.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Right, okay.
That's the film done.
Yeah, there's not much to this.
They like to call each other bullshit artists all of the time.
But is it about that? Because it's not his film. He's Big Ronnie in here, and then there's Big Brayden, who's his son.
Yeah.
And
it's
it seems to be
fucking
following...
disastrous relationship.
Yeah. So it seems to be following Brayden through the film, because he's kind of the protagonist, if there is one.
I don't know what's going on in this.
I don't. I was talking to someone at work today about this film, and I was like, I don't know how we're going to do a podcast on it, because I don't know how to talk about this film. Hobo, you suggested it.
Yeah.
Why?
This is the exact reason I suggested it, because I got shown it by a friend. And
they deserve to die.
Yeah, I was like, what? What is this? And then I watched it again because he wanted to show it to Laura. And I was like, no, this is still, what is this? And then I completely forgot about it until I was talking about Beverly Love Limb, which is trailer-wise and cast-wise looks very interesting. Same director.
Yeah, but at least there's an actual storyline with An Evening with Beverly Loughlin.
See, I haven't watched it yet because I wanted to, like...
And legit acting.
The director, I think he's Scottish, isn't he?
He's insane.
Like, where does this come from?
The executive producers on this are Elijah Wood,
yeah.
And Ben Wheaton.
Ben Wheaton?
Yes, Wheaton.
Wheatley?
Wheatley.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Will Wheatley.
So it's directed by Jim Hoskins, who's a British director. I'm pretty sure he's Scottish.
Okay.
Because there's a bit in this where Oinker was his name, the guy who had the pig nose and hired some shoes. Just went into like a Scottish accent for a minute before he got strangled. So for the people who don't know,
don't ever watch it.
So there's a father and son, isn't there? And they're tour guides, aren't they? So they do a tour.
A disco walking tour.
Yeah, so they show off disco hotspots in whatever their weird little town. The film that I could liken this the most to in my head was Napoleon Dynamite. You know, one of those films where within 10 minutes, you're like, right, it's one of those, and you're either in or you're out, where you're like, I don't know what this town is. I don't really know where in whatever country it's in. I don't even know what time it is. If someone had been like, that film's in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, whatever going on, I'd have been like, okay. I can't remember anyone using a mobile phone or anything in it. Everything.
No, yeah.
And it kind of put you in this weird feeling where you're like, I don't know what this world is. And then they just throw in some strangling every so often.
So in the first 10 minutes of me watching this film, I was like, am I actually watching the right film here?
Yeah, because you asked, didn't you? Have I watched the right thing?
I honestly, I think my first note was something like, why the fuck are they always in pants?
They are always in,
no, well, they
They
start in pants.
Yeah.
And then it's just full dicks out.
Yeah. Then the next note is so much floppy cock.
Yeah.
He had 6 inch of dick, but 4 of that was foreskin.
And it looked like a mouse's head.
Why did it go really red on the end?
I don't know. Do you know what, right? The film started and they had the... I've got to do a shout out to a guy whose name I'm going to struggle to pronounce. Sam Disanyaki, I think his name is, he's cast as Indian tourist. He is fucking hilarious.
I loved him.
I could watch him in anything. He's in Beverly Loughlin as well. He plays a character called...
Oh, really?
Jay or something like that. And it's basically the same character. But the bit when he's like... Yeah, and when he's like... I thought there'd be free drinks. And he's like, no free drinks. I want my free drinks. And he just goes on about free drinks. I was like, this is piss funny. And I was laughing my head off at him. And then the scene where he wants his paprika chips. He's like, I like to eat the dust. And he's like, the dust that gets in the ridges.
When he's trying to say potato, and that other guy's just like, once more.
Pato. And he's like, what? Pato. And I was just like...
I thought it's weird when he gets strangled. He's like, I cannot get an erection. It's soft. I can't remember what else he says, but it just goes in a spiral down.
And he actually says stiffy, and I really enjoyed that.
But every minute that he was on, I was like, I'm loving this guy. He is fucking hilarious. Who was the other guy? I feel like he's from something. Like, I've seen him in Scrubs or something.
Oh, no, I looked it up earlier on and I can't remember who it is now.
Is it the one who gets his face punched in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good effect.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed that.
For a low-budget film.
It kind of reminded me of another film, like a comedy. I can't think what it is.
It's kind of a little bit Drop Dead Freddy.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't have anything else to add.
So the father and son, we see the love interest come into the story then, don't we? Janet comes in. So she's from, have you ever seen the TV show Eastbound and Down?
Yeah.
With Danny McBride. She's from that. And I was like, God, she just makes weird comedy.
The one line, though, that big Ronnie said, and that I've written it down because it made me laugh so much. I could feed on that queen's ass all night long.
And then it just cut to her, like, naked. Did she have, like, a little dog? This film was absolutely fucking insane. I'm not, like, going right to the end or anything, but how does this get made? Like, at what point does the guy write this down, hand it to someone, and they go, yeah, this is good. Let's give you a budget.
Yeah.
There's no words. It's like he greases himself up, strangles some people, then accuses people of thinking that he is the Greasy Strangler, and then goes into a car wash to wash his whole body and screams
multiple times
throughout the whole time. And his blind mate's there.
And his dick is flopping in the car wash the entire time.
Yeah, his dick, fuck me.
And the fake money as well.
I forgot about the fake money. It was like being in a dream.
I feel like that's what it'd be like on acid.
Yeah. And you know, the director and this writer did part of ABCs of Death 2.
Oh, did they?
G is for Grandad, I think it is.
I've not seen it.
Well, I haven't, but and that was before this. And I don't know about if they worked on other shorts, but they've done other shorts before. So it feels like this was their first full feature.
Have they done one since?
What feature?
Well, the director's done Beverly Love Lynn. Writer, I don't know. I think I would have written it down. No, I don't think he has.
Well,
surprisingly,
both this and Beverly Love Lynn felt like they needed to be shorter. I put this on last night and said to my wife, "Don't worry, it's only 93 minutes long, so even if it's terrible, it'll be done."
Was it only 93 minutes long?
It felt so long. It felt so long, and I think it's because it started so quickly. And there'd been like 5 quite big things that happened within the first 10 minutes. Like the whole, like, them waking up and making him a greasy breakfast that wasn't greasy enough. And you know, I loved how much he loved grease. I was like, this isn't greasy enough.
I love the fact that he juiced his own olives.
Yeah, I did. And dipped his hot dog in that barrel of grease and stuff.
When he throws the money on the floor so that hot dog man has to go get it, and the hot dog man's like, "No, I'll lose my license." He's like, "This is not greasy enough," and then he just goes.
I feel like if anyone's listening to this, if anyone ever does listen to this, they'll be like, "What the fuck are these 3 people talking about? It's nonsense all over the place." But I'm like, no, actually, we're doing quite a good job.
This is how each scene goes from one to the other. It's not like there's a progression. It is 1 minute, the old man is leaning back, lifting up his legs and farting.
Oh, God, yeah. And you like pretty much saw his
you see everything. And then the next minute is Brayden is on a date with the jaundice girl. She looked jaundiced to me. Like,
that's Mexican, is what you mean.
No.
I'm only kidding.
Latino.
They surely made her more yellow than was necessary,
I don't think they did.
What was the whole... him brushing his teeth and winking at her while she was sat having a piss?
Oh, yeah. To be honest, that felt like the most normal part of the film. I was like, this could actually be in a normal film. But...
Oh, and Brayden's tiny little widgie.
Widgie. Yeah. So, I mean,
there's a bit with that where they're just on him and you're not seeing below his waist. And then they just pan down so you can see.
Is that when he's having phone sex with her?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
When he's just like, imagine me rubbing your clit with a pink feather. And then he gets his little widge out and he's like...
I love the bit though when he was like fingering her from behind or whatever. And she was like, this is really sexy. But what if I just farted or something? I was like, what the fuck is this? And it just cut.
It was like... It was trying to get like Play-Doh out of a hole.
The bit that made me laugh the most in it is where she shows Brayden her tits.
And he goes in with a tongue.
Yeah, she's like, I didn't say you could do that.
Like the most deadpan way. I didn't say you could do that. It was like, oh.
Right, on that note. So that's the end of part 1. We'll be back shortly.
This is a break from the podcast. This isn't fake, it is real. Grab a biscuit, a Kit Kat, or toffee, maybe samosa.
Hello and welcome back to part 2 of the Greasy Strangler episode. And Hobo, you wanted to kick us off talking about the production of the film?
Adult things.
Visuals?
So, while the script feels like it was written by maybe a bad AI bot, like a bad one, like probably not even a proper AI bot. It was just, there's a bunch of, you know, when you write down a bunch of phrases and put them in a jar and shake it up and take them out. I think that's how this script was written.
There was a lot of repetition in this film, wasn't there? The bullshit artist scene, like, bullshit, and horse shit, and they're just going backwards. And
yeah, that feels like a mix of both people just ad-libbing on set and then the editor, whoever edited this, going, yeah, more. Let's just copy-paste. Copy-paste.
What were with them with the matching outfits, though?
Love the outfits.
Well, I think that's the thing that actually was good about this. The
polyester shorts are not good in any way, shape, or form.
No, but I'm not saying go out and buy anything that was in this film, but for me, like the costume design, the set design, the look of the film, the cinematography, it was all actually really impressive.
Within like 2 minutes, I knew who, I mean, apart from the strangling part, but I knew who these guys were.
Yeah.
From their clothes and their house and their grease. I was like, I know who you are.
And the dicks.
We don't need a backstory, even though they've told a bit about the mum, but like we knew they were trash. And
she left because Brayden kept shitting on her. Yeah. In bed.
No, I didn't.
Who was the guy? Rick Prickles or something. Yeah, with the rock hard abs.
They used to make him punch him in the abs.
And then he molested me.
But I thought it looked quite nice.
Yeah, honestly, I was watching it. I'm just like, this is such a waste of good talent. All of it.
What do you mean?
Because what they were delivering and what they were saying is just nonsense. It was...
What, even the bit about his hot, creamy cum?
Oh.
I was like, I loved his story about Michael Jackson now.
And it turned out to be a gay prostitute.
But even she said it later. Well, anyway, the production.
The
costumes were spot on.
That's what I loved about this. I think that's one of the things that...
I thought the casting was good.
Yeah, I mean, for what they were going for, I assume it was solid.
Big Ronnie's body was so weird.
But Big Ronnie, like, who is he?
I don't know, but I never want to meet him in an alley.
Yeah, like, I've never seen him in a film before. And do you think he just wants to be an actor? Like, did he read the script and think, I can bring that role to life if there was a script? I
can bring that Greasy Strangler.
I can bring that mouse head to life. I loved that when he was like, doesn't it look like a mouse head? About his dick.
I think that was just someone the director knew. And you know where you see someone like, you would look good in a movie, either like... I used to work with someone back when I worked in a supermarket. And they had like the best voice. It's like, you should do movie trailers or something. You should use that voice, but it was just like a butcher. It's still pretty
just a fucking butcher.
Just a butcher.
He could be millionaire famous.
Just a butcher, though.
Hey, I don't go to butchers. I can piss off butchers.
They've got knives.
Yeah, true. But
true.
I've got an army of rats who have knife-like teeth.
So do we want to talk a bit about the love triangle between Brayden, Ronnie?
Big Ronnie.
Big Ronnie.
And Janet.
Yeah.
So were you rooting for Big Ronnie when he was getting in with her?
No one's rooting for Big Ronnie and his mouse dick.
Yeah. But he fully got in there, though. I felt bad for Brayden.
The bit where he's hiding under the bed, though, naked. What is that about?
I don't know. But when he was like Tutti Frutti Disco Cutie or whatever, and then they just sang it repeatedly in front of Paul Brayden and his broken heart. That humping dance.
With what her arms were doing. Yeah.
Oh, no, wait, we've not even talked about his disco outfit.
When he goes on a date with her.
The purple crotchless disco outfit.
Yeah. It had a crotch. It was just like a thin see-through mesh. So you could just see his horrible dick.
She had a giant 70s bush as well.
Yeah, she did. And they commented on it as well.
Isn't that where Brayden keeps saying, Dad, you're a smoothie.
You're a smoothie. And he even asked her, did he smooth talk you or whatever? Oh, dear.
Oh, and then he goes and strangles Pignose.
Yeah, so Pignose was a weird character. I did like his rented shoes. And like that he was like, I've just rented these or something. I was like, but I feel fabulous or something crazy.
And they go into the horror house.
Yeah. But Pignose, when he killed Pignose, because we've not even really talked about the fact that he strangles people, and there's no real reason why he does it. But he strangles Pignose, takes off his fake prosthetic nose.
It wasn't prosthetic. It was made out of paper.
Mache or whatever. And then like fingered his nose hole and then sucked it. And I was just like, that is fucking rank.
He got knuckle deep as well.
He did, full into his face. And it made me feel sick. The grease in this film made me feel sick. Bits where people were like touching it on the floor and then licking it. I was like, oh.
When he strangles the hot dog vendor and then goes into his little caravan and then pops his eyes out and then fries them, rolls them in some panko crumbs and then fries them and then sits there just greased up, just like, it's like, when the fuck did he turn into a cannibal?
Yeah,
that kind of just happened. I don't know, because he's killed those 3 guys, the potato chip guys at the start, and then is that his next kill?
Yeah, the next kill's hot dog man.
Yeah. And it comes out of nowhere, but he just starts eating them.
It all came out of nowhere. I
couldn't get if he was becoming the Greasy Strangler because he wasn't getting enough grease because Brayden was with the girl, or because he didn't like Brayden being with
Are you trying to rationalise it?
It's because Brayden started to stand up to him.
Okay.
He didn't like it. He was like, I'm going to evict you. And then he's just like, fuck you. And then he goes and kills his mate.
Yeah.
Strangles him.
That Greasy Strangler outfit also wasn't good.
Oh,
I thought it was good.
It looked like he was wearing a sock, like a whole body sock.
I was thinking next Halloween, that's what I'm going as.
God, no.
Full Strangler outfit with the dick.
Trying to think what else happened. So he fingers Pignose's hole.
Yeah.
And
then like Janet swaps back, doesn't she? And ends up back with Brayden.
Yeah.
And that's when she says about farting on him.
Yeah.
But he also had greasy sex with Janet as well.
Oh, yeah, that's what, because he juiced his own olives or whatever.
When he were on about milking, when she asks him if he had a good night and he's on about him drinking loads of White Russians, it's like, oh, so many cows got milked tonight. Yeah. It's like... No, whatever he said was creepy.
Yeah, when it's like creamy cocktails or whatever. But in Beverly Loughlin, they keep going on about cocktails, and there's like a cocktail with chocolate in or whatever he keeps having. The director or the writer must just love cocktails. I don't know what else there is to say about this film at this level, apart from talking about the end.
There's a weird thing about... Yeah, towards the end, isn't someone dies, so then Greasy Strangler, Big Ronnie, dresses up as a detective.
Oh, yeah.
And has the long fingernails.
It's because Brayden...
I forgot about that. You called Jody or something.
Brayden phones the detective because he thinks that he knows that his dad's the Greasy Strangler. And a detective comes and it's like, oh, this is the grease. It's the same grease as the Greasy Strangler uses, even though Brayden's never seen the Greasy Strangler. And then the detective's there with the really fucking long yellow nails and the neckerchief on and stuff. And he's just like picking the grease up on his fingers and like rubbing it on his face.
He rubs it on his glasses. Don't he say something like, I like it rubbing on my glasses or something?
It's just there's just no words for it. Like, so Big Ronnie's hid under Brayden's bed while Brayden proposes to Janet, and then he's just like, no, and then he scooches out from underneath, doesn't say a word, stands up. He leaves the room, doesn't he, and then dips himself in the vat of lard.
Yeah.
And then comes back.
What happens to Janet? Because I watched this last night and I'm still like, what happened to Janet?
Ronnie slaps Brayden, steals Janet.
Yeah.
And Brayden then wakes up and realises Janet's gone and like, where the fuck's his dad? He follows a trail of grease into his dad's bedroom, sees the massive barrel of grease and just gets inside it.
Yeah, but what happens to Janet?
They go to the cinema and then Big Ronnie's strangling her.
Yeah.
And then Brayden starts strangling her and then they eat her eye.
Yeah. And they have an eye each. And then they go off and start being like stranglers in the wilderness.
And they go get Prickles.
Prickles.
Yeah.
And then they get their heads shot off. But then they're still alive.
Yeah, they get tied to trees and shot. And then the greasy versions of them are watching from the bushes.
And is that
with
before?
Spears.
Yeah.
And is that after the scene where they have a heart-to-heart on the beach?
That's after. It's that's the kind of final shot of them going off together. So I think they have the heart-to-heart after killing Janet. maybe.
Anything else you want to discuss before we get to our opinions?
No.
Who wants to go first?
I'm going to say this is terrible. I know I suggested it, but I hated even watching it again. You
did suggest it.
But because I think you guys really needed to see
How many times have you seen this?
This is now the third time. And I hate the ever-loving shit out of this film.
So are you saying it's Spoilt Milk?
I am saying it's worse than Spoilt Milk. If we had the 8 circles of hell or whatever, and the lowest circle of hell, this could be in 7. The 7th circle of hell, then yeah.
All right. Do you want to go?
I fucking hated it.
You hated it?
I honestly wanted to turn it off, and I couldn't, and I had to watch it, and I was just like, what am I doing? This is... What am I doing? I thought I enjoyed shit films. This was another level.
Yeah, I thought this would be right up your street.
No.
Yeah.
I couldn't deal. I just couldn't deal. There were floppy cock everywhere.
Everywhere. Every scene.
There was either floppy cock or micro cock. Either way, I'm not down with something looking like it's got some sort of infection. And I just didn't get it.
I didn't get it. I didn't have a clue what was going on.
Because I was watching it while we were working as well. We're like, oh, maybe I've missed something here, and it'll catch me up. And no, not missed anything.
You didn't miss anything.
No.
Considering this is a cult classic, there's loads of people who love this film.
Who?
Weirdos.
Fucking serial killers. Go on, Cham.
So you're saying it's Spoilt Milk as well. Hobo, you've seen this 3 times and you recommended it to us.
I just wanted you to share the pain.
I fucking loved it.
No! I was worried. The way you two were talking about bits, you seem to be really enjoying it. So I was like, no, we're going to absolutely love it. I'm so glad you saw Sense.
It was a mess, and it felt like it went on for about 3 days, but I haven't laughed so much in ages. It was fucking hilarious, man. Within the first 10 minutes, I was like, yeah, you've got me. When the whole bit with the guy who was like, I want free drink, I was like, this guy's ace. It was awful. It was horrible. It was disgusting. I don't know how it got made. The script was all over the place. But I fucking loved it. I thought it was absolutely shit crazy. And I just buzzed off every little grease bit and fart scene. I was just like, this is...
I've got 2 words for you.
Utter nuts.
Bullshit artist.
I can't help it. By the end, I was ready for it to be done. And the end, I thought, was shit. The whole end bit where they got the head shot off, I was like, It did feel like it went on for too long. But it was just hilarious. I feel like this will be a film that I'll be thinking about and quoting for ages.
What is it to quote?
Paprika chips. Paprika chips and bullshit artists and
Hootie Tootie
Disco Fruity. It was just full of quotable lines.
I did write down one of my favourite lines where Janet says to Big Ronnie, he can twaddle my twat. And he's like, I like twaddle my twat.
Yeah, it was fucking nuts. I understand why you hate it, but I thought it was a luxurious cheese. But the film is Spoilt Milk. And that's it for the Greasy Strangler. Bye.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Spoilt Milk Movie Podcast, you pieces of fucking shit.